very easy topic. Okay, just understand it. This is a beaker. Water is filled in this one. Room temperature. Water is there. It is water. Now you add here salt and then stir it. What happens? Of course, this is dissolved. It is all the activity. This activity we are performing at room temperature. Okay, the amount of salt which is poured in this water is dissolved after stirring. Okay, now if we are increasing the amount of solvent, the salt, if we are increasing the amount of salt in this water, in the given amount of this water, then after some time a stage reaches where we are unable to we are unable to dissolve more amount of salt in this water that is present in this glass tumbler. Okay, we are unable to dissolve more amount of salt in this given amount of water. So that is the maximum amount of salt or solute which can be dissolved in the given amount of solvent at given temperature. At a given temperature, that maximum amount of solute is called solubility. How it is useful for us, we will be discussing more further. Okay, now what are the factors which affect solubility? First one is nature of solute. Second one is nature of solute, then second one is nature of solvent, then third one is temperature, then fourth one is pressure. So these are the four factors on which solubility is dependent. Okay, after this one we will be taking the examples, separate examples, one by one, that how they depend, how they affect this one. Before proceeding this one, we have next topic, that is 2.3.1. That is solubility of solid in liquid. Solubility of solid in liquid, that is the next topic. Okay, now here just I am giving some examples, that if you are asked to dissolve salt in water, of course you are able to dissolve. Then you are asked to dissolve sugar in water, of course you can dissolve easily. Okay, but at the same time, if you are asked to dissolve any example of organic nature, that is naphthalene, or anthracene, if you are asked to dissolve in water, it can be dissolved, but it is not possible. Means you are not able to dissolve naphthalene or anthracene in water. Now what is the problem? Let us see. Now the next example, the next, just change. If you are again asked to salt, you are asked to dissolve salt or sugar in benzene. Are you able to dissolve? Of course not. Then next, again you are asked to dissolve, to mix naphthalene or anthracene in benzene. You can dissolve. Now important concept is here. What is that important concept? Only one statement, only one important sentence is, that is the important here. Like dissolve like dissolve like dissolves like. Now what is the meaning of this one? Simply we can say polar solute plus polar solvent dissolved means soluble. Then means this is like. Then next one is non-polar solute plus non-polar solvent. This is also soluble. If you change this polar with this one or this polar with this one, then it is insoluble. So that is why we are saying here like dissolve like. Now some of you may ask that what is the meaning of polar and non-polar? Very important. Polar and non-polar. The concept of polar, of non-polar, you should know. You should learn what is the concept. Okay. Polar means what? What is the meaning of polar? Simply pole. Pole means what? Pole means what? Pole means ends. For example, we have two ends, two polar poles on our Earth, North Pole and South Pole, North Pole and South Pole. In the same way, if we are able to make if a molecule is made up of two poles or two ends or two opposite nature or two opposite type of charges, that is positive charge and that is negative charge, positive charge and negative charge, then we can say that it is a polar molecule. For example, H2O. Now this H2O can be written in this way also. Here we consider positive charge and here we consider partial negative charge, partial positive charge. So this is the way. In this means this water molecule is a polar molecule. Now sometime you may not get correctly this partial positive charge or partial negative charge. Then what is the method for that in that condition? Simply generally for polar molecules the dipole moment is almost zero. For polar molecules it is non-zero. For polar molecules, the dipole moment is non-zero, and for non-polar molecules, non-polar molecules what is the meaning of non-polar molecules? C6H6, or you can say carbon tetrachloride. Structure of carbon tetrachloride: all the bonds are equal in opposite direction with an equal angle, that is almost 105 degree. So all these are in symmetry. That's why the polar dipole moment of this molecule is 0. In the same way, carbon dioxide, mu is equal to 0. So those molecules which have dipole moment equal to 0, they are called non-polar molecules. Those molecules which have dipole moment non-zero, they are called polar molecules. So in this way you can calculate, you can say, identify which is polar molecule and which is non-polar molecule. So this is the important statement of polar and non-polar, or like, dissolve, like. After this one, two terms are there: dissolution and crystallization. Dissolution and crystallization. What is dissolution and what is crystallization? Simply, if you add some amount if you dissolve some amount of a solute in a solvent, here you have already solvent, and if you are adding here solute and it is soluble, then what happens? This amount will be dissolved in the solvent. The process in this process where the concentration of solute increases or the concentration of solution increases, this process is called dissolution. Means simply mixing of solute in a solvent. Now what happens in the same process? You have mixed some amount of solute in solvent. Solute and solvent is there. You are adding more. Then solute particles are colliding with each other, and some solute particles escape out of the solution. So this process, in which after some collision between solute particles, some particles of solute escapes from the solution, this process is called crystallization. Dissolution and crystallization are opposite to each other. They are opposite to each other. In dissolution process, solute is dissolving in the solution. In crystallization, the solute particles are coming out of the solution. Here we have one more two words, two terminology. One is saturated solution, and the second one is unsaturated solution. Unsaturated solution. Now what is the meaning of saturated solution? Simply no more amount of solute can be mixed or dissolved in the solution. Important at given temperature. No more amount of solute can be mixed or dissolved in the solution at given temperature. Such solution is called saturated solution. Such solution is called as saturated solution. What is unsaturated solution? A solution which is not saturated solution, that is called unsaturated solution. Not saturated solution. Not saturated solution, that is called not saturated solution, is called unsaturated solution. And in unsaturated solution, more amount of solute can be dissolved. This is the saturated and unsaturated solution. Okay. Now what are the factors which affect this one? What are the factors which What are the factors affecting solubility? Factors affecting solubility. There are only two factors. First one is temperature. Second one is pressure. Okay. Now what happens when we increase the temperature? Just again you see a container containing a solvent, and in that solute you are dissolving solute in solvent at a given temperature, or you can say at room temperature. This experiment you are performing after a certain concentration. After a certain concentration of solute, you are unable to mix more amount of solute in this solution. That is called saturated solution, and that concentration of solute is called solubility. Okay. Now what happens when you increase the temperature? When you increase the temperature, then what happens? The movement of solute particles is increased, the space between particles is increased, and more amount of solute can be dissolved in this water. So it means we can say that on increasing temperature, solubility also increases. There is no role of pressure. There is no role of pressure on solubility of solid in liquid. Solubility of solid in liquid is not affected by pressure. So these are the two factors on which solubility is depending. Okay, so that is the end of the video. The next part we will be taking in the next video. Till then, revise the portion properly, revise the previous portion properly, and any doubt you can ask in the comment section. Thank you, take care, bye bye.